Hello, welcome back. My name is Dr. George Mochocki. Today we're on week 6. This course is Business 121, Introduction to Business Corporations from Small to Large, offered by the College of Lake County. Okay, let's see what we have on week 6. Week 6, you're going to have your second exam. So let me just flip into week 6. Before I go into week 6, let's talk a little bit about week 5. How did we do in week 5? We had the producing goods, quality, and it was a spillover from week 4 on different types of women managers. The discussion board was excellent. I mean, I think we had a group of about 15 people in the discussion board. You were talking, bringing your own perspective. You were giving in new ideas. You were complimenting each other. You were helping each other. You were challenging each other's. And so I was very proud of you. You did very well in the discussion board. Okay, so let's go into week 6 now. Like I say, I'm going to try to keep this under 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. So in week 6, I think you did well on everything else. The Learn Smarts, everyone's up to speed. Your grades are up there. So let's go into week 6. I'm going to week 6. We only have one chapter today. The chapter we have today is on motivation. So let's look at week 6. You're going to have one lunch smart. And usually what I try to do when we have your exams, I try to give you an easier week, knowing that I want you to do well on your exams in Blackboard. And we'll talk a little bit about the exams, the format. If I think we have two more exams and then the final exams. So I want to make sure maybe I want to change a little bit, but I want to talk to you first and you'll be able to, in the subject area in the discussion board or the forum, this way I grew up calling it. The Blackboard calls it discussion board, so I use that term interchangeably. You can bring up a Dr. George after you hear my proposal or what I think. Or you can say, leave it as I like the way it is. Okay? So you have your two Learn Smarts. You're going to have a discussion board, one discussion on here, you remember? And I'll throw in a little bit some information. You know how I do when I think the discussion isn't going well or the discussion needs a little more direction or a little more motivation, since we're in this chapter, I'll come in there and then your subject area that you post as one of the virtual students or entrepreneur in this classroom, I will add on and ask the class to chime in on that. I don't do that, or if you got a real good topic, or if you've done something that you presented that I want other people to look at. I know that a lot of students will look at one or two different students' posts, may not read all of them, and I think that's a disservice to not only to the students who posted and no one replies to them, but it's also a disservice to for you for learning. In the classroom, when we're in a regular classroom, a face-to-face classroom, you would basically hear the question. You would hear my response back to that student. You could chime in, but even if you don't chime in, you say, "Oh man, that's kind of cool. I understand that. He or she had a good point. The instructor provided a good response to that." Or, "No, wait a minute, I don't agree with that. From my business or where I'm working at, or the exposure I had, how about this scenario?" And that's how you bring other people in the discussion to expand your own understanding and knowledge, or even say, could I use this in this situation? And now you use the expertise not only of the instructor, but of your fellow classmate, or in this case, what I call our network. So remember, don't always wait for me to respond. Part of this whole discussion board is that it is similar to a skill set that you'll be required in the business is to help your other teammates out, you help your other peers, or even a lot of times to help your customers. Remember, we're no longer salespeople. You know what I mean? We're always selling. We're selling ourselves. We're selling our organization, but we're more of an account manager. We're more of a problem solver. We're more of a consulting role. We see a thing that needs a problem to be solved, or we see an area of opportunity. I think next week we're going to be talking about, it's going to be on promotion, and it ties in nicely after this chapter, because remember, what you're going to learn how to motivate someone as an employee is the same techniques I'm going to be utilizing to motivate a customer to come into my store, not only to see what I sell or my services or my product, but actually be able to purchase. What's going to motivate him or her to purchase? What bundling, if for lack of a better word, or what programs, or what features or attributes, or what experience will I get if I come to your place of establishment? And that's all motivation. On the flip side, I'm an employee. I get, and when you look at this, your forum is not going to. I'm asking you what motivates you. Look, let's read this real quickly because I think I got my picture always here. Sometimes I do it, I forget that my face is in there. But when I'm looking at something on my recording this, if I'm talking about something, what's he talking about? It's usually because my face is in this way. I try to make this more personal. Remember, I don't edit any of my videos. It's live as we go on. I think that's more realistic, just like if you've taken me in a classroom. I may not see you, but in a way, with your pictures, I could see that I am. In my mind, I can visualize who's on the other side. Okay, so let's have a motivate you at work other than money. Remember, money's a motivator, but when and I got the full lecture here. Remember the full lecture on the subject matter. I'm just introducing what's going on. Money motivates most individuals, but it only motivates me for so long. I got my raise, was that, or I got my first job. It's going to motivate me for the whole year. Maybe, maybe not. Most people know after a while I need something to kind of give it a boost, to keep me going. So money, other than money, because we all know we need money is the reason we're working. So we have money so we could have other fun or help the family or achieve our own personal and professional goals. So out of money, what else is going to motivate you? Is it a pat on the back? And that's what you're going to have to look at within the chapter. And now, when you understand what motivates you as working as a worker, when you're a manager or you own your own store, how you going to motivate your individuals to sell one product? Sure, do you want I pay them for the job, just should do what I pay them a job for, but a little bonus, give me that little push, and that's what motivation is. And it could be just as good as hey, you did a great job. I'm really, I couldn't survive here without you. You work so well with customers. I can't believe it. Could you train somebody? And I say, yeah, all right, because I'm grooming you for the next supervisor. List several things that motivate you at school. I always like to listen to this. Maybe it's me, your instructor, and then maybe it's just learning new knowledge, or maybe it's just because I just like to me. What motivates me at school, I like meeting other people. I like listening to different perspectives, from older to younger. I learn more from the students as I hopefully you're learning from me. That's what motivates me. I like to challenge. I like to change, even though it's the same subject matter. How do I incorporate this knowledge into this operation or to this venture? Okay, what do you feel will motivate your employees or yourself for your new venture? Look, I'm opening up a business. What goals are you going to set? Forget you don't have any employees. What's going to motivate me every day? Oh, no customers are coming. How am I going to get it? After a while, you're going to get depressed, right? I'm going to motivate me. I'm going to find a new way to get a new customer. I'm going to give that customer extra satisfaction or like a better customer service, customer relation. I'm going to find a new way to attract. I'm going to open up. If you're not no customers coming, start looking, do some research. How do I get customers in here? What suppliers could help me get customers? They don't want you to fail. They invested in you. They got you. You're good. They want you to be successful, so you buy more from them. So you've got other resources. You got the college right here. You're going to College Lake County. It's connected with the Small Business Association. They've got people there. When if you tell them for the class, they're going to say, "Oh, geez, another one of Dr. George's students coming in for the class." But you may be actually wanting to open up this business. If you say, "Come in here, look, I'm also a student here. I have been working on this venture. I want to help with a business plan." Don't only say just for the class because they think you're trying to get have them do your feasibility study for you or your final paper. But a lot of students do start off here, and now you understand how all the pieces fit. Then you take a marketing class, you take another class. It doesn't mean you're going to be successful, but you understand what's required. Which areas I got to focus in on more? Which areas can I kind of hold off to the back till the business grows? Where do I take my resources and funnel them in the right thing? How do I motivate employees that doesn't break me but gets my product line moving? Maybe I'll say, hey, if you bring a new customer in, or at school, you come up with a new idea, could you put these flyers at school? I'll pay you another $20 or something if you can hand out the flyers to your friend. Viral marketing, we'll get that down the road. Okay, so what motivates employees, so you got to understand employees. Yeah, smaller business is fairly well. When you get a larger business, how do you motivate somebody? We went to our first introduction. Everyone introduced himself. We all came from different walks of life. Some of us found some similarities, and we connected. Some of us already know what other people like within the group in this virtual classroom, and you know how to kind of motivate them to respond to your questions. Some like to be more challenged. Some just like more of a pat of the back and to respond. So you already have learned that. Now you have to take that same skill set. That's why I said when you say, "Who's my customers?" They're all my customers out there. Different, different people like different age groups and everything else. Still may like my product, even though I may be targeting to a younger generation. But the thing that you have to look at, or maybe managing a younger generation, that it's what I'm giving them. Younger generations, they want to go to concert, not the opera. Older generation. So I'm giving you, hey, you go to your music concert or venue of your choice. I still have so much money put away for your concert when you want to go down to Chicago, or for your concert you want to play, or an opera or something else. And it's a motivating. You have to have so many units, sell so much there, not be sick, whatever. Just think, and sometimes yourself, your own motivation. Did I make my goal? If I could get 20 customers, if I could break even by the year end, I'm going to take $1,000 and I'm going to spend it on myself, not on the business. That's a motivator. You're still a person. You're your own employee. And then you start motivating, and then you set your goals higher. You set your goals higher, and your reward should be higher. Same with your employees, okay? Now you don't have much money to give them, so you got to give them stuff that motivates them, smaller stuff, pat on the back, all this, and that's what you're going to learn in the chapter. Okay? Are we good? You got by midnight, post by Monday midnight, reply to others, and remember, you don't see anybody's form, so you post yours, and again, you'll do well. Your next exam, now here's what I'm going to talk about the exam. It won't be open until Friday. I could maybe open a little Thursday, because I want you to work on the forms and everything else. I know some people, this way it's open from Friday to I think Sunday, and once it starts, you have an hour or whatever. You have more than ample time to do it. It's worth 50 points. Okay, I've got 5 chapters, 5 questions per chapters, 2 points per question. The last chapter, like we did last time, is 2 short essay questions. Give me 1 or 2 sentences, you don't get any points. You write it in. It gives you a lot of. It's easy. I think it's 6 points for each one. If you give me at least a paragraph explaining and contrasting on motivation there, you'll get your points. That helps you over. Okay, so that's what you had last exam one and exam two. Now, I used to have the same exam that instead of 5 questions worth 2 points, it's the same. It's worth what do you call it? I would have 10 questions worth 1 point. So you have more questions, but if you miss one, you have a higher probability of better grade. You're doing pretty good on your test, but that's your call. So you're going to have to let me know, is that I mean, do you want more questions, or do you want a smaller test like this? And don't say get rid of the essays, because part of you do a lot of writing in here, but that gives me a better way to see what you know when you're presented with a subject. How could you explain yourself instead of just guessing this one or that one? All right. So again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki. Everyone's doing well. This is week 5. You should make sure you do the forums. Do you learn smart? Only want to learn smart. Study a little bit for the exam. Look at motivation. And it's pretty easy. What motivates you? Think about it. And be honest. I mean, if it's going to school to meet other people, then that's a motivator. It's nice to know. So I hire more college students, so I get more college students to work for me. All right. So that work as a plus. And then you have your exam 2 coming on there. Remember, always print out my mind map. It's the first layer tier. It gives you a quick overview, and keep the mind maps when you're taking the exam, because it gives you an idea what we're covering. You talk about for that chapter, so you know forward, and then you have my full lecture. And the full lecture, so you had your mind maps again. Write your name in. I mean, write the other parts that you forget, but put in your own words. I put a lot more words in these concept maps than I would do for my own. I don't need the ands and buts. I do that because the students have a little trouble transferring over from a lecture notes from a reading to a study mode. When you study mode, you just have the key words. On this one, motivation. What is Maslow's hierarchy of needs? I mean, physiological, social needs, self-esteem, self-actualization. Boom, boom, and one line. I don't need all of there. I just need what's the main part. And what I've studied, that it's makes it very quickly. That's what the concept maps. It's basically a bare skeleton, and then you could add all on there, but it gives you the main components of every. It's your main DNA of every little, but very small, and then you add everything else on there. Okay, so we have that, and I think we should be covered, and I should be under 10 minutes, probably around 15 minutes. You're doing well. Keep up the work. Keep up the forums. It's a little lighter week, so I want you to do well on your exams. And someplace in the forum, say keep the same. After you respond to my question, and then in the subject area, or when you created a thread to somebody else, say question, or just place it, Dr. George, keep the exam the same way, or Dr. George, don't change the exam. I'd rather have more questions, less points. It works both ways. It's still 50 points. I don't want to overtax you, but you tell me. I'm flexible. I'm a business. I'm a business. I'm a consultant. You're my clientele. You're my traders. So let's make it what works for you, and you still get a grade, and you still learn. But my whole thing is not to fail anyone; is to help you learn the subject matter in a virtual platform. I'll see you online again. My name is Dr. George Mochocki. This is Business 121, an overview for the week on motivation, and then offered by the College of Lake County. Blackboard Course Management System, and I'll see you in the forum. Bye.